Hello fellow YouTubers, this is Adam from Braindead Studio and I'm here to start a new series called Retro Reviews. In this series I will review PS2, GameCube, and Xbox titles. So the wild rush of new game releases is finally over. As I crawl out from under a plastic pile of game cases, I find at least a dozen games I could review. But since I'm a rebel at heart, I've decided to turn my critical eye on a gem of a game that has been sadly overlooked by many gamers. That gem is the PlayStation 2 classic, Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus can be described using many words. Potent, immersive, original, unique, beautiful, emotional, memorable, I could go on and on. On a system that had no shortage of amazing games like Final Fantasy, Grand Theft Auto, God of War, and Resident Evil 4, just to name a few, Shadow of the Colossus is by far one of my favorite games I played on that console. So you play as a space marine that has to use your overpowered weapons and bulky manliness to stop the alien invasion. Oh wait, that's every other game out there. So you play as a boy named Wander who has traveled to a forbidden land so he can save a cursed girl. The only way for Wander to save her is by defeating 16 Colossi. And the only help you get to defeat these Colossi is in the form of riddles given to you by a mysterious entity known as Dorman. The riddles Dorman gives you usually don't make much sense unless you are particularly adept at solving riddles. Here's one for example.
Thy next foe is, in the land of the vast green fields, rows of guiding graves. It is giant indeed, but fearful it is not.
Or,
thy next foe is a tail trapped within a pail, deep within the forest, a shadow that crawls on the walls.
alright, sorry, I just really wanted to give some examples of these crazy cryptic riddles. And I kinda like using that voice. So,
on with the review.
the land you explore is a beautiful open world that you can roam around of your own free will, and it is big. When you're not hunting colossi, you can hunt the snakes and lizards that crawl across all the expansive landscapes also. Because the world is so large, you could never cross it on foot. Well, you could, but it would make for a very long game. So the gaming gods have given you a horse named Agro, who will be your faithful companion throughout the game. The soundtrack of Shadow of the Colossus is one of the game's strongest elements. The music can be both beautiful and is sometimes haunting. And did I mention your sword has a built-in Colossus locator? Oh yes it does. And you can get your very own Colossus locator for only $99.99. Your first encounter with a Colossus is one of the most memorable moments I've found in a game. You know what you're hunting, but what you don't know is just how colossal the Colossus really is. And to defeat these creatures, you have to climb them as they constantly attempt to shake you off. Once you reach the blue emblem, you have to pull a Jason Voorhees and just stab the crap out of it with your sword until the thing keels over. Every Colossus you beat gives you a slight boost in your maximum health and stamina, which will help you as the Colossus battles get harder. Once the Colossus is defeated, you then restart at the main temple, get a clue for your next Colossus, and you're on your way. So usually this is the time when I would tell you what is bad about Shadow of the Colossus. And this game definitely isn't perfect, but since it's so good, I'm going to go through this pretty fast. So things you should know about the game is the crazy camera, which sometimes seems to have a life of its own. It can be seriously frustrating, and Agro the horse can be a little hard to control for some new gamers. There also isn't a lot of variety. The Colossi are the only enemies in the game, and there aren't any new weapons or upgradable combat systems. So because this is a retro review, and this game has been out for a while, there's no guarantee on what it will cost. But the sites I've looked at all have the game under $20, so that's the value my score will be out of. So I give Shadow of the Colossus a $20 value out of 20, or whatever price you find it at. It's 2 a.m. and I'm recording this, so I had a lot of bloopers. Oh my fucking god, shut the fuck up, train. I have a blooper while I'm explaining the bloopers now. Once you reach its blue emblem, you have to pull a Freddy Krueger and just stab the crap out of it with your sword until the thing keels over. Once you reach its blue emblem, you have to pull a Michael Myers and just stab the crap out of it until the thing keels over. Once you reach its blue emblem, you have to just pull a Jason... what's his last name again? And you can also revisit beaten Colossi to try and beat your previous time in a time trial mode type game mode. It is so fucking late, oh my god.